Hello. Welcome, everybody. It's showtime. Hello, Maria Graham. Thank you, my sister, for coming bright and early, as usual. Voice of Mir. Greetings in Pakistan. Assalamu alaikum. Sissy, Joanne Stevens. Hi, Sissy. How are you doing? So I just got a little message that I'm live on YouTube now. Welcome those of you who are chiming in from YouTube. Luscious Journey. Thank you. Thank you for the compliment. I appreciate you. And I watch you. I watch you mostly on TV, especially like in the morning when I'm exercising. I exercise, which is why I made it. Woosa. We're here, everybody. In other parts of the world, I don't know when the new year starts, but each of you who is here today, we made it through 2023. My Renaissance grandma, listening and lurking. Good for you, my sister. Casings 55 is saying hello, GQUAT and chat. So, in case you guys haven't noticed, I posted it at the top. I didn't pin it. I've changed the channel name to Garden Quilt and Arts Show because I used to be a business person. Luscious Journey says you're trying to be like me. You know what Daddy used to say? And I do know your first name because you've emailed it to me for other things. Daddy used to say, just keep on living. Just keep on living and just keep doing what you're doing. Mike's Chaotic Gardening, thank you for coming and welcome. Buenas noches, mi hermana, Yankee Sister Olmsted. She's in the store and hopes she can catch up. Happy New Year. Feliz Año Nuevo in Espanol, you guys. So I will try to turn on my phone so that I can see what's going on in the chat. So let's see if I can do it. Give me one moment, you guys. Oh, it's showing up under the new name, Garden Quilt and Art Show, Planter Garden TV. Thank you for coming and welcome. Everybody, it is such a blessing for each and every one of you. Oh, by the way, those of you who are here on YouTube, please give the thumbs up. Facebook, also please give the thumbs up and think about subscribing if you like the content. I watch the analytics and I'm not disappointed with where my channel is. It's much further than I thought it would be. But my first year, I celebrated my anniversary of going live about Christmas time. It was also my first time reaching 1,000 subscribers. No problem. But then one of the big channels that I follow said, "Oh, Garden Quilt and Art Traditions, your name is too long." And I thought about it. I said, well, that is a lot to type in if you're on your cell phone, if you're lurking, if you're doing something. So I will shorten it to GQUAT. But not GQUAT Traditions, because what the channel is a variety channel celebrating 8 generations that I have been on Earth. There are 6 living generations now. Hello, Cassandra, South Fulton Garden. Thank you for coming and welcome. I come on Saturday for a while because I know that when I come on Thursdays, most of you are working. Most of you should be working. So I appreciate it. I appreciate you coming in the bushes, but I want to give you a chance to participate. And for like the first, second, and third weeks of the month, usually the chat comes on with Nikki. I know they don't come on the 4th and 5th weekends, so I can go as long as I want. But you know, those of us who have YouTube channels, we're all trying to, wiggle in, get a little bit of space. Like Planter on Thursdays when I go live at 4 o'clock. Let me see. I stay on a little time, sometimes past then, because I'm showing how to do something. Miss Shirley, the OG Gardener, goes on at 7. Planter Gardener TV goes on at 8 o'clock, as does Vision Preparedness. I say that because most of you have more than one device, but at least check in with multiple people. Or you can check in on one, watch on TV. I do that, fall asleep, because I mostly watch on TV. Voice of Mir, I saw you potting lemon trees in containers. So I just didn't get a chance to come back and comment. I go back and comment, but I always give the thumbs up. And I appreciate each of you doing the same thing. Yeah, look, you guys. I changed the quilt in back of me. I got tired of my green screen. I got tired of the little projects. And I will tell you what this is in back of me. Actually, it's a one of a kind legacy quilt. What is a legacy? A story about someone that is left behind when they are no longer on earth. So, why is this a legacy quilt? Because it was made out of the memory of my maternal grandfather. On Thursday, I told you that my mother sent a quilt that she wanted me to repair. Oops, that's heavy for me. That she wanted me to repair. And all she had left when Grandpap Charlie passed, that's her dad, was one old flannel shirt. So I made my mother, I cut it up into 4-inch sections. I refolded it so I can show it to you guys. This is Mommy's quilt. And it smells good. It's been washed a lot. Maria Graham says, beautiful quilt in colors. Well, this quilt has broken my heart. Passionately intrigued arts. Hello, Tracy. Thank you for coming and welcome. And this quilt in back of me is the original quilt. All I had left after I made my mom's quilt, and Mommy's quilt is 100 inches by 100 inches. It almost covers her king size bed. She has a high poster king size bed, as does my sister Joanne. They should really have 120-inch quilts, but that extra 20 inches on each side, whoo, that's hard to get in there. And it's hard to get all the matching materials together. Mala'a says, hello, Auntie Ellen and Chad. So, what I want to show you is my mom sent me this quilt, and I'm going to put this down slowly so I don't have to hold it up so much. And hello, Tim, the educated the educated natural. Thanks for coming and welcome. This quilt is much loved, but my mother has people who help do the laundry. My mother's up in age. Hello, hands in the dirt. My mother's older than me, and we all know I'm 3/4 of a century. But if you look at this block and these blocks, all the colors in this quilt, this is the same exact quilt as this one. The colors in it. This I kept for a show quilt. If you look, it's a one-of-a-kind quilt. I made up the pattern myself. I made up the blocks myself. And they're not symmetrical. They're asymmetrical. And I did this. I just wanted to have something to pass down in the family to keep. I thought this quilt would be, but guess what? Some of the people who help with my mom's laundry washed it in bleach. So that's what happened to her quilt. And Mommy, I'm not going to be able to fix those parts. The bleach has worn through the quilt. I say this because I go to thrift shops. I go to yard sales. Hello, Miss Catherine, Catherine's Garden and Home. Hello, K Renee, Jegs J3GS. And I just want you to know that those of you who have elders, whether they're related by DNA, people that you visit, neighbors, nursing home, it's an honor to be able to live to be 75 and older. I am so blessed. And I have to keep reminding people I'm 75 years old. And you know what? I'm going to slow down. Auntie Joanne told me, she says, Sissy, you're going 100 miles an hour. You're doing this, you're doing that. And I just finished watching my video from Thursday. I'm intentionally talking slower. I'm enjoying the moment, the space with you guys. And I want you to know that I appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate the moderators. I appreciate those of you who have subscribed to the channel. I appreciate each of you who are in the bushes, whether you are subscribers or not, because that accrues to my time and some of my algorithms. And of course, I appreciate the members who pay the $1.99 per month for the friends and family patrons. And starting 2024, I'm going to be able to offer a block of the month class for free. I will do a video and I will tell you, you will get your own materials. I will tell you how much you need, do the instructions. I will do a video. And if you need to email me or text me, you will have personal contact to get further instructions. And at the end, we will put a quilt together. Together. So this is what I want to show you. You see this quilt? Look at the two colors. Look at the two colors. And I also want to tell you that I used to be a quilt show judge as a master quilter. And some of the quilts that we took in, sometimes there were panels of us judges, and we had Miss Catherine says, keep on moving, sharing your joy of living and creating work that leaves a legacy. Thank you. That's what I'm trying to do. I come on here. I'm not trying to have a big channel. I'm not trying to make a lot of money. I have done both things in my life. I do want to tell some of you who are on YouTube, you're trying to grow your channel, you're getting different business formats. And I want to caution you that it's good to know, but do your due diligence. DUEDILIGENCE. That means doing the legal work to find out whatever kind of business you have. And you don't have to have any further business, but you need to know what the tax ramifications are. You also need to know what your duties are. This is an old book. It's a comprehensive book, but I wanted to show you. I used to belong to the state of California Bar Association, not as an attorney, but as a senior corporate paralegal. I also belonged to the Connecticut Bar Association. I was also I had other designations. Hello, make this go viral. Thank you for coming. But I just want to share with you guys there are different types of businesses, whether it's a sole proprietorship, whether it's a partnership, whether it is a regular corporation, an LLC, a professional corporation. A professional corporation is like doctors have professional corporations, lawyers, they have professional corporations. You have to have additional degrees as well as do the legal work. But I also want to tell you there are nonprofit corporations. But I want to tell you this very briefly of the sales of small businesses, what you need to do for a DBA. Don't just go online and fill out some forms and say, okay, I got this. And you don't got this. You don't got this. Trust me, you don't have this. And 10, the educated natural, will tell you she does a lot on her channel to help you towards the goals that you want in running a business. Hey, Nikki, the everyday life of an OCD is chick. I've been there, done that. 75 years old. Don't want to do it. I don't want to be researching every day what laws have changed, what currencies there are in different parts of the world. Dealing with some of the banks and international corporations that I used to have for clients. Nana, Auntie Ellen doesn't want to do that. I want to make oatmeal cookies for my kids. I want to. I brought mommy her oxtail soup last week. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. 10. 10 is an abbreviation for the educated natural. And she's young and energetic, and that's what she does. That's what she does. I don't want to do that anymore. You need to know, if you have a business, do you have to keep minute books? I used to have minute books in my office in the law firm, one of the top tax law firms in the country. They did types of charitable remainder trusts. I used to have to draw them up. I used to figure out what dividends would be for shares. I used to print shares. All the minute books for like Fortune 500 companies. That's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of pressure. When I retired, I had a nice little nest egg. But you know what? I don't care how much you have. If you have a major illness, and at the age of 75 and other, you can lose everything that you have. Not lose it, but you spend it. Auntie Joanne and I were talking about money. Cassandra said the oxtails had her drooling. Mommy was complaining that I gave her oxtail. I said, well, Mom, didn't you have a couple really big pieces in there? She said, yeah, but I ate those at one time. I said, Mom, everybody gets on me because I bring her things when I go there. And when I leave, her blood pressure spikes, her sugar goes up, and I'm on the hit list. Everybody is fussing at me for sneaking her stuff. My opinion is that if you get to be X amount of years older than me, you get to do what you want to do, else life is not living. I am going to do what I want to do. I went to the LIQ store, you guys, today to get the ingredients to make my Moscow Mule. Then out, the ingredients are ginger beer, but guess what? I make ginger beer. I make all kinds of things with spices and herbs. I actually have a couple of videos. You can make ginger wine, but I'm going to make ginger beer. It's very low alcohol, as is kombucha. I'm going to make my own ginger beer in the future and make mine. And I have the little copper cup that keeps it really cold and stuff. But speaking of cups, a funny story, the great grandkids watch my videos too. They always see me dropping things. So one of my great granddaughters gave me the little copper cup. Auntie Joanne says it's a sippy cup. And then the other one gave me a bigger cup so that I can, with this pretty lady on it, so that I can keep the water near me and not knock it over. Not knock it over. Passionately intrigued arts. Tracy said she loves ginger beer. I ain't ginger beer. You know what? Ginger beer is healthy. It's good for your stomach. Ginger cookies, snap cookies. Hey, Hershey, why are you on my foot? He hears me saying Auntie Joanne. He knows Auntie Joanne's name. He thinks Auntie Joanne is going to come and walk him and take him outside. But now we talked about quilts, and I was talking about being a quilt show judge. There is never any reason to put bleach in a quilt. There have been times we have had to disqualify quilts. You'd be surprised. People bring quilts to put in the show, whether it's like a state, what do they call it? Whatever the state shows are. But some of them passionately no, it does have alcohol because it's fermented ginger, but it's like a fraction of a percent. Kombucha. Kombucha has alcohol in it. And as a matter of fact, any of you who is paying all that money for kombucha in the store, it's watered down. Why? Because of the Bureau of Tobacco and Firearms. You cannot sell liquor or drugs without a license. Most times, I don't know. I'm not getting in anybody's business. Hi, Nancy, our treasured home. Voice of Mir is greeting everyone. Assalamu alaikum, sir, and from Pakistan. And about the ginger, it's a legal amount. It's a legal amount. Babies can drink it. Babies can drink. It's healthy, but it does anything that you ferment. Anything that's fermented, what happens is alcohol. I mean yeast and sugar chemically turn into alcohol and carbon monoxide. I used to know a lot about science too, biology and stuff. I used to just like knowing a lot about stuff for no reason. I just like knowing stuff. And that's why I have a lot of books left. I donated 11 bookcases of books when I downsized. And these books all have special meaning. They're either related to Black history, American history. Why? Because Black history is not taught in the schools. I didn't learn about the history of my people, Native American, until I started studying on my own. I actually went to, Auntie Joanne and I went to Sedona, Arizona on a trip, and we went to a museum, and there were a couple of indigenous people there all dressed up in cowboy outfits and whatnot. My second husband was a black cowboy. He wore all the gear. We had all the horses and animals and stuff. But the two guys that I took a picture with, excuse me, they were saying that, well, one of them was the great grandson of Chief Sitting Bull, the famous Native American chief. And he was saying that back in the day, I told him that my second husband was a black cowboy. Cassandra said she ruined her legacy quilt made with memories of her grandfather when she accidentally left it on a clothesline. It will bleach as well. The sun will bleach your quilts. Those of you who are collecting fabric or have quilts, you never store them where there's bright sun. The sun will bleach your quilts out as well. I'm sorry to hear that, but it's not ruined. You still have the memories, but it's not the same. People back in the day, the quilts were heavy, and they didn't fit through washing machines. The washing machines had the rollers that you fed them through. Sometimes people's fingers got caught. Sometimes Miss Shirley, OG Gardner, did I say hey to you, my sister? Miss D's Harleywood Garden. Everybody in here, please forgive me if I don't see you. It's scrolling and I don't say your name. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I do go back and review. So the two indigenous people in their gear were saying that back in the day, all of the cowboys were black or Native American. You know why? Because wealthy white landowners, the men, they didn't work. They didn't herd cattle. They used to supervise the people herding the cattle and buffalo and all of that, but that's not what they did. That wasn't their job. That's what a cowboy did. They herded cows. Okay, so that's enough about history. But each of these books has something in that, or they were books from graduate school when I got my MBA or some other degree or some other certificate that I don't care about anymore, or just something that I'm interested in reading, and a lot of art books and quilt books. Why? Because I didn't start with the art until I was 50 and until I retired. I was 66 years old when I took my first formal art class at a university, and I was 50 when I started quilting. So most of you are younger than that, and you have plenty of time. Hello, Lydia Best Yet Journey. She says, Auntie, you look beautiful. Thank you. I got a compliment. I almost passed out. Monday. Hey, Mona. Sifting some soil, trying to say it fast. I went in the house to see the family. Mommy was already dressed. For some of you didn't hear this story. So when I came in the front door, her bedroom is on the other side. I rushed in to give her a hug, and she said, "Penny, Pen." She was already in the den, in her chair, lips on, hair done. She had fancy earrings in her ear. She said, I have a headband on too. She was all dressed up for the family pictures. She looked like a little doll, the queen mom. Tori's brain, thank you for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. I want to thank each of you for coming, and don't forget to give the thumbs up. Those of you who are coming here for the replay, I invite you to give a thumbs up, leave a comment so that I know you were here. So let's do a little bit more housekeeping before the year is out, because I brought some things out. I didn't talk about it Thursday, but what is, oh, wait, I have a picture I want to show you. And I always talk about the 8 generations that I have been alive. 8 generations, yes, because there are 6 living generations right now. We were at my mother's house on Monday. One of each of the 6 generations in my branch of the family. So it was my mom, me, my daughter, my granddaughter, her children, and her grandson. That's 6 right there. PIA says she'll be back. I will keep on. But my mother had a job when she was in high school. And this is the family, actually the grandchildren and the son of the family that she worked for. She was like a teenager, 16, 17 years old, and this was her first job. Well, when you're young, you don't know anything about money or relativity. You don't know whether you're rich, you're poor, you're anything. But what's interesting about this family, he came to see mommy a couple days before I took my Arizona trip, and I missed him. Miss Shirley says I look fabulous. Thank you. My kids buy my clothes and dress me, and I just put them on. Try to put a little lipstick on. And my granddaughter works in the school system, and she has a hair business where she does locks and twists and curls, and she actually does my hair. But I wanted to show you, I always say good friends become family. We're all family now. It doesn't matter about the color of your skin, your nationality, your politics. We don't talk about that at the dinner table. You do you. You do what you want to do. I have friends in all religions, all nationalities, all politics. When I used to teach or have an arts and crafts class downstairs, one of my dearest friends happens to be Jewish. She would get in there and she would start talking about Trump, this and that. I'm like, not here, Joan. We're not doing it. We are not doing this. And she was an older lady. She was the other things. And I'm like, Joan, we are not doing this here. Well, well, you two go over there. This is my designated space for arts and craft. Don't bring that CRAP. Actually, another word slipped out. Don't bring it here. Don't bring it here. And we're besties. We're besties. The one person in New Haven that has the extra key to her place is here. Sometimes I get mad. I said, Joan, call your brother and tell her I'm giving your key back. Let somebody else come pick you up when the paramedics come, because I'm not coming. I'm tired of you. Tired of you. But that just goes to say that good friends become family, and family is everything. The story I was going to tell you about this picture is that I want to say it was around the year 2000, and I was still working, and I was working in Stamford, Connecticut. And I went to a bar association meeting as a senior corporate paralegal. and I did trust and estate planning, taxes. One of the attorneys I work for gave me some files to do. He said, Ellen, I need you to do some due diligence. He said, I've never had asked anybody to write a check for $1 million for their taxes. I need you to do some due diligence to see if there's any way that we can get it under $1 million. Just maybe 400,000, a half million or something. So that was some of the stress of my job. Well, I don't want to do anything except arts, not just one, but any of the arts, whether it's writing, any of those things. CC's Texas Gardening. CC's Texas Garden. So going back to the meeting at the Bar Association, this particular meeting happened to be at the Stanford Yacht Club. At the yacht club. So I was just wandering around, just like being nosy, just like I was the day I saw Justice Jefferson's picture on the wall and realized that my neighbor that I used to always like hack around with and talk about my dog with was actually the president of the law school and an appellate court justice. Judge is for the lower court. Justice means you're an appellate court or Supreme Court judge. So I'm looking at all the pictures of all these fabulous yachts on the wall, and I'm like, Shorty Greenwood was that guy's father. Well, the senior Mr. Greenwood during World War II lent his yacht to the United States Navy to use during the war. I'm like, now, that's a lot of money. A lot of money. A lot of money. But anyway, that's the story of good friends become family, and family, it doesn't everything. Some people have money, some people don't. Hey, Hudson, I saw you. She said she can't tag everyone. What did I see you doing? Oh, Hudson, your package is in the mail. And guess what? I was going through to get this quilt out, and I have a quilt that's ready for you. I'll call you, I'll text you and talk to you. It was a quilt I was going to keep for myself. I keep a lot of quilts to show and exhibit. I don't wash them. I don't put them on the bed. I was telling you about when I was judging quilts, sometimes there would be cigarette smoke in them. Sometimes it would smell like pets. But the one thing you don't put in a quilt, you never have to put bleach in it. Never, never, never. All you have to do is put ammonia in it. Ammonia will remove the smell, any odor from anything. And it will brighten it up as well. It will brighten it up. So let's see, where was I? So Mother, I love you. I will try to put some patches on your quilt, but I it's just the holes are worn through there. And guess what, Mommy? It's time for you. I'll make you another big bed quilt. I have a set of twin quilts that are made of the first quilt that my mother wanted me to repair. Maria Graham says, hi, Mom. Mike's Chaotic Garden says, hello, Mother. She's in her chair watching on TV. She can't see the chat, but she loves when you guys tell her hello. So Sissy says, hugs. Best Yet says, hugs. So being that, if somebody, I decided this quilt, Hudson is going to get it. She was interested in purchasing a quilt because you know what? Hello, Mr. Hershey. He heard me say Auntie Joanne and Mommy. He just wanted to say hello for a minute. We're not going to do this because I'm busy right now. Let me wipe my hands. I have some wipes over here before I touch other things. So, Mr. Hershey, thank you for visiting. Miss Shirley O.G. Gardner says, hello, Mommy. She's from Ohio, Mother. Your old stomping ground. For those of you who don't know, my mom is from Pennsylvania. Auntie Joanne said, hello, Hershey. Sissy, he keeps sitting by the door waiting for you to take him out. Auntie Joanne, I have other things. I say the words, do you want to GOUTSIDE? They're saying us, the co-host. Yes. So Auntie Joanne's dog goes and sits by the door to go out. So that's what he would do when he was in Arizona last month. You're stingy showing us the co-host. He's heavy. He weighs like 11 pounds now. 12. He puts my legs to sleep. So I want to talk to you guys planning, about planning for next year. How many of you would actually like to have a quilt or make something? Just make anything, anything, anything. I'm going to the bottom, trying to go to the bottom of the chat. Well, I'm going to challenge each of you, those of you who are here, those of you who listen to the replay, those of you in the bushes, I am going to challenge each of you to create a piece of art in 2024. It can be whatever you want. Hello, Duval, City Girl Gardener. You can paint. You can quilt. You can paint a rock. You can make a rock garden. You can make one of the neck pillows. And these are ergonomic. Everybody should have one. Everybody that got one for Christmas is talking about how, and so far I've given out about 16 of them, about how much better they're sleeping because your head isn't on a level too low, too high. You use these little things and you adjust it exactly where you want it. And your head stays there all night, all day. I have been resting since last week because I didn't even have one. I left my other one at Auntie Joanne's, and Yankee's sister got the one that was here that I finally made one for travel and one for my bedroom. And the only reason these two are here, this one is for my grandson, my only grandson. He's in California, and the other one for his dad. But since they don't celebrate holidays, I don't want to give it to him during Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. Cece said she has one. She always has neck issues. Your neck issues will go away, Cece. Do you have a sewing machine? How many of you have a sewing machine or access to a sewing machine? Can you put a 1 in the chat? Because I can share the pattern for this. I actually did a demo at Auntie Joanne's house, and I showed how you use there's only 3 seams to make this pillow. I handmade my handles, but I can show you how I do this. Why did I make the handles? Because it's made of fabric. This fabric will last 100 years. There are uniforms at Buckingham Palace and linens that have been in use for hundreds and hundreds of years. If you take care of good fabric, good linen, LINEN, the fabric, or good cotton, you will have them for years. This pillow will last him 20 years. The one I have at Auntie Joanne's house is 20, 25 years old. Each of you who put a 1 in the chat, if you email me at, let me show my banner, ellenpanky@gmail.com. I'll send you the pattern, and you just cut out 3 pieces of it. 3 pieces of it. And whoops, I'm always dropping things. Babies and old people drop things. Sippy cups, things with handles, they work. So it's ellenpanky@gmail.com. If there's anybody who would like to help the channel, contribute to the handle to grow content, the Cash App is $ellenpanky13. What do I do with that money? I don't need the money to buy the things that I want. I use that money for example, I don't do many videos outside in the garden. Gigi Naturals donated a little microphone so that if I go out there, but there's no Wi-Fi. There's no Wi-Fi out there. I have a community garden. So blessed. Thank you for coming. Darth, if I didn't say hello, 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 hello. I appreciate each and every one of you. And I like knowing that at 75 years old, I'm leaving some of the things that I learned from others with you guys. And guess what? Knowledge just doesn't go down from the elders to the youngers, it goes from the youngers to the elders. My 3 year old great grandson gets on his iPad. He's coding. He is coding already. 3 years old. He is coding. Who did I see? Oh, Psalm 146. Thank you for coming and welcome. So, in order to create something or make something new, I challenge each one of you. Hello, Lorraine T. I know you've been shopping, and I see you what you've been doing. And I'm going to do an official challenge video, 15 minutes a day, just 15 minutes a day to create things, something. When I had my hip replacement and my knee replacement, I couldn't walk. Mr. Hershey next door to the park, and I had a dog walker. Mr. Bill used to come at 4 o'clock and get Hershey and bring him back at 4:30. So the time he was walking Hershey, that's two 50-minute segments. I would sit in here and do something on my sewing machine. That was about all I could do because my that surgery was on my right leg, which is my sewing driving leg. Sekou Gerald Newsom, thank you for coming. Hashtag the Bears Den. Thank you and happy Kwanzaa from Norfolk, Virginia. Are you related to Ibani? Because I think she's in that area as well. But thank you for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. I appreciate each and every one of you who has given a thumbs up to help my channel to grow. Oh, and that goes to the part where, let me see, let me turn this banner off. Let's hide that. Now I can do it. I changed the name of the show to Garden, Quilt, and Art Show. It's still GQUAT for short, but those of you who have been coming, you already know when they say GQUAT or Auntie Ellen, it's me. But others who just see my like a short come up, they have no idea what a GQUAT is. What is a GQUAT? Ain't nobody got time for that. I'm at work, I'm browsing, I'm doing stuff I'm not supposed to be doing. So they don't. Cece said that's wonderful. I don't know how to code myself. I don't either. My 15-year-old is doing some coding. As a matter of fact, the 15-year-old was in like the final 800 in one of the science fairs when he was in fourth grade because he invented a fidget chair for children with different disorders or who had anxiety. And it was a way that while they were exercising, they could touch different things. And he won a prize he didn't win the final prize, but he went to the University of Connecticut, the final 800 students. And he's really, really smart. He plays basketball and he's in a program. I encourage all young people, and he watches my channel sometime. So he goes in there with grandma. Imani is your spouse. Oh, you're blind. She's transcribing for you. Oh, God bless you both. I was learning Braille because I was legally blind at one time, just a couple of years ago, as a matter of fact. And thank you for sharing that, Sekou. I'm actually a member of the National Federation of the Blind. I still have my white canes and all my stuff. But 2 years ago, I had surgery and I have 20/20 vision in my right eye. I was telling you guys about saving and having money. You can be set for life. I thought I was set for life. And then I had medical issues, intense medical issues where in some things insurance doesn't cover. I had a kind of eye drops. see like 10 different eye specialists at the Yale Eye Center. They are one of the top of the top of the top of the top. I've been to the top eye centers at Weill Cornell in New York City. I've been to the top eye specialists and Duke. I thought I would be able to get my sight back. I won't. I have 20/20 vision out of my right eye. I wear glasses for reading, but mostly I wear glasses to protect my face. To protect my face. I'm totally blind in my left eye. And Auntie Joanne will tell you, I walked into a wall so hard, I chipped my teeth at her house. I bumped my head, my face. So to protect my good eye and my other eye, I wear glasses. Mostly for protection. Sometimes I wear cute glasses. My daughter told me I look nice on Monday. And she said, Mom, are those new glasses? No, those are the glasses that I'm getting ready to go get a new prescription for. Those are last year's glasses, and I hate them. The people who make my glasses says, you always say you hate them. I'm like, I do. They're very pretty, and they're progressive lenses. They have the little part in the bottom where you can read if you want to. They will protect my eyes from the light. But guess what? They're heavy. They hurt my face. Any glasses that have those two little things that sit on your nose, they hurt my face. I can't wear them. So I do what I do and I just make it work. And if I need to, I go get dollar store glasses instead. But I'm going to the eye doctor. I canceled my appointment till after the first of the year because I don't need any more tax deductions for this year. I need to, I'm working on next year because I have a couple things that went up that should not have gone up if I had done my receipts and my due diligence, my corporate housekeeping, not corporate, but my accounting and business. My son usually keeps an eye. Progressive lenses make me dizzy. They make me dizzy too. So the ones that I have, well, one pair, I have so many pairs, just have that little dot in the middle so that I can look up. It's hard to figure out where to look through them, to look through them. So let's talk about planning. Let's talk about planning for next year. I'm sure that those who are in the fields of their work where they monitor things like that, they tell you to get organized. They tell you, I have so many kinds of journals. This is one that I just like that I made. I make my own journals. I have about 5 or 6 that I keep all the time. They're within arm's reach of my bed. This one is the one that I keep when I'm writing stuff down, technical stuff, when I'm doing things about the internet, when I'm learning how to use StreamYard. There are not many 75-year-olds who do all their own everything. I do my own editing. I do my own, and it's hard and it's slow, and I don't know how to do everything, but I do it myself or I ask somebody how to do it, and I'm doing it, and I'm proud of it. I showed somebody who's younger than me how to do something new. I lost my phone. I didn't lose it. I misplaced it Christmas Day at Mom's house. So when I got here where I live, I got my iPad and I pushed my special little app, Find My Phone. Sometimes it'll say your phone is 5 feet away and it'll show where it is. Imani needs new glasses too, very nearsighted. She hates the pieces on the side of her nose. I can't stand those. They're very pretty. They're very pretty. But no, everything is not for everybody. Everything ain't for everybody. So let's go on to our planning. This is something I did when I was watching. For those of you who can see this, you see how big this is? For those of you who are talking about sight, this is a sketch I was making for a bag because my granddaughter's husband, their anniversary is on her birthday, and they brought me some jeans. And in exchange, I told him I would make him a jean bag. He wanted something to go over the shoulder So I was sketching out a sling bag, a double-sided sling bag, and writing some measurements. He's a big guy. He's like 6'4", something like that. He's a big guy. So I want to make sure that it's big enough to actually go over his shoulder and hang down and hold heavy stuff. So that's what I was doing. But I want to show you, all of you who keep all of your stuff. I have a dear friend, and I'll ask her, well, did you do this? Did you do, oh, I forgot. I did this. I said, well, you do this, that. I see you on IG. I see you on Facebook. You're here, there, and everything. You need to handle your business. I'm not going to handle it for you. And well, when you go, let me know. Nope, I'm not doing that. You She's not nearly my age. I'm like, you need to do that and take care of yourself. And she says, well, I'm going to put it in notes. Okay, put it in notes in your phone. Where's your phone? Is your phone on you 24 hours a day? Do you keep your watch on you 24 hours a day? I know some of you do. But you know what? I wonder about the radioactivity, the whatever, the electromagnetic field. There's a battery and it's electricity in your body. You guys need to make sure you're grounding yourself, touching your feet to the bare soil, touching your hands to the bare soil. I truly, truly believe that. I believe in that. And that's one of the reasons I'm still here at 75 years old, and sometimes functional. Sometimes my memory goes. Do I take naps in the evening? Yeah. Miss Shirley knows I'm always taking a nap in the evening. Not too long after I end my live, especially if I'm sewing and doing things, holding things up. I really need a nap then. And yeah, Monty needs new glasses. Okay, I said she hates the pieces on the side of her nose. So this, I like a book. This one's small enough that it can fit even into I have a small pouch. And this one will even fit in the side of my purse, my little purse. But what I like about it is not only do I have the months, I have the weeks down. Dark said naps all the time and miss all the good lives. I do too, but I try to make up. But I like seeing a month at a glance. I like being able to look back at it and see different things. I like being able to flip a few pages. Okay, so in December, I need to do this. Oh, okay. So, okay, I need to check on something for my voter registration. Okay. And then it helps me remember what I did in the past. You can't do that. And if you switch carriers, okay, say that you're putting stuff, saving it on whatever the Google thing or Google Photos, whatever the photos are. If you don't use that anymore, guess what? You have a certain amount of time to download your photos. You got them on the iCloud? Well, guess what if you get kicked out of the iCloud or shut down? Then what? Suppose you want to go back 10 years. It's like when you get your bank statement and you choose to have it electronic. Suppose you need to give copies of something, not just for this year or last year. They only keep them going back so many years. I used to work for a tax attorney. They're only required to keep them 7 years. You might have an issue about something further than that that's grandfathered in and carried over. Excuse me. And you need to prove it. So this is, and because I leave things down, these look so much the same. It just happened to be. This is 2023. This is 2024. I already have a lot of stuff in it. These are some medical stuff that I have to take for my upcoming surgery, appointments that I was supposed to do, other things that I need to remember. Because why? I like to stay ahead, and I'm trying to save some time. That's time that I can use to make something beautiful for someone. Although now with the postage, it's like you can barely afford to send things to people. My allergies are acting up. So, what is this, Auntie Ellen? Why do I call myself Auntie Ellen? Because I have a lot of young followers. They call me Auntie, they call me Nana, and Sifting Some Soil Mona says, "Hello, Aunt Ellen. I just was raised so that people that are older than me, I don't call them by their first name. You know, my mom's friends, I call them Miss Shirley, Miss Alice, Mr. Franklin. That's just me. And a lot of you guys, I have kids your age. I was talking to Coach Mary Ma, we were texting. She didn't know that I have a daughter her age. Yeah, I do. I do. I was a young mom. I was a mom at 17. And I have children you guys' age. And I respected my elders. I've been married forever and ever and ever. A few times. But this is my vision board, you guys. And for those of you who don't have one, this is an easy one. You know what this is? This is a 12 by 16 canvas. I took one of my canvases and I had a bunch of leftover paint one time. How about Auntie Penny? I'm Auntie Penny too. You can call me Auntie anything. You can call me Grandma. You can call me Nana. You can call me anything. And those of you who are my age, I'm not old enough to be your aunt. I know that. And you're my sisters and brothers. It's just a name. It's just a name. So that's a lot of, I got a lot of Auntie Penny. I have more Auntie Pennies than Auntie Ellens, actually, because that's what everybody in my family calls me. Why? Because good friends become family, and family is everything. So, what is on my personal vision board? Okay, I had some positive things to say every day, and say to yourself every morning, today is going to be a great day. I can handle more than I think I can. Things don't get better by worrying about them. I can be satisfied if I try to do my best. You know what? When you do your best, that's all you can do. And then you let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. So the next one I have, there is always something to be happy about. My next mantra is I'm going to make someone happy today. Every day I try to do one reckless good deed. One reckless good deed for no reason at all. I try to do a good deed every day. It is not good to be down. I hear people saying they're down, they're sad. I'm sad for them. I don't have time to be down. I'm usually taking my nap by then because I've run myself out doing all the things that I wanted to do, all the things that are on this board. So going back, I just put this picture of an art quilt on there just to decorate it to have a something on there. I'm going to change this to 2024. This is going to be my 2024. Sekou says, we were raised the same way. Everyone was Miss or Mr., never by their first name. Yes. And you know what? There are a couple people that I have bumped heads in with on YouTube, and that goes all of you who are content creators. My last husband used to have a saying, and I want to share this with you: never get in a pissing contest with a skunk. Okay, that's not on my board. That's in my mind. Never get in a pissing contest with a skunk. If I have a problem with someone, I will go to them. I will tell them about it. If they continue to do it or be disrespectful on YouTube, other people see it. But guess what? That reflects on how they were raised. You know, if they think it's being cute or makes them look good, it doesn't. It just goes to show that you're disrespecting an elder who has spoken to you about it, and you think that YouTube will save you. You know, a lot of these punks wouldn't dare come up to your face and say some of the things they say in chats or leave messages. They would not dare. I promise you. I promise you they wouldn't do it with me. You won't call people mama, especially near my age. Oh, because I get it. I get it, Mike. I could say, okay, pause. Okay. So this is some of the things I have on my vision board and my website. I started a website as a content creator and something happened to it. I have my domain name under GQUAT and I just never went back to fix it. This year, when you do GQUAT.com, a small one page website is going to come up. So then I have in big letters, just start. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. You just start. Just start. Whether it is art or whatever, just start. Stop sitting there saying, "Oh, I wanted to do that. Oh yeah, I want to do that. I need to finish it." Just start. I won't say just do it because that's Nike's, stuff. And then I used to have my favorite saying was Vini Vidi Vici or Weenie Weedy Weechi, if you use that pronunciation, depending on what language. But it means I came, I saw, and I conquered. Young people, that doesn't relate to them. So I change it to I can, I will, I must. And you can do anything you want it to. This, because I do paint and draw, not just quilt, I hope you don't mind. You can borrow. I want everybody to use anything that's on here for your vision board or anything else. This is this is free to use. Now, some of my personal art, if you, for example, if I show a picture of my quilt, I usually put it, if it's on Facebook or something, I smear my name in black letters. Why? Because people share it and pass it around. I don't mind. Just give me credit for being the author. A pissing contest with a skunk. Exactly. Exactly, Sam. That means, like, if somebody's doing something that's ugly, don't be ugly, especially in public, just because they are. Respect yourself. Respect yourself. Don't water. There's an old saying: water seeks its own level. It seeks its own level. Don't go down to their level. Stay up. Stay up. Keep your level, and you do you. So some of the other things I had on my board is jar it up. I jar everything up. I keep everything in jars now. Flour, sugar. Why? So those little mealy bugs don't get in it. My rice in my pantry, when I'm preserving it, I dry preserve it in in the oven. A funny story, I was doing some rice and I think it was like the Uncle Ben's rice or the parboiled rice, and it's which is already dark, and I left it in the oven a little bit too long, so it got a little like toasty or brown. It looks like brown rice. I'm still using my rice. My rice is right there, and rice is getting expensive, and certain kinds are hard to find, like jasmine. So, one of the other things, here's a color wheel. So, when I'm creating things, I like most of my things in here from the purple to the teal. So, because I have a lot of things in here so that they blend in and it doesn't look like I'm living in an inferno or chaos, most things blend in color. Except pink. I have a couple things that are bright pink and they are intentional because I can find them when I'm looking for them, like my computer cover. So one of the things I have out in here is workout. I work out every day, but on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I have a helper that comes to help me with lifting and heavy things that I can't or won't do myself. In Virginia, to call someone mom, mama, papa, pop, baba is showing them the highest respect. It is reaching back to African culture we have lost, trying to bring and maintain respect for elders. Baba Sekou, I don't know why I said that. I have other friends named Baba Sekou, and I have a lot of family. My family's international. Some of my nieces from Tanzania and Namibia, they call me mommy. Why? Out of respect. My daughter, who is their first cousin, calls me mommy. So they call me mommy too. And they love me when I couldn't take care of myself, button me up, take me to the doctor, take me in the Uber or the cab to where my appointments were. And I am much loved. I am much loved, which is why I am so functional. So, what else do I have on my vision board for 2024? Well, this was 2023. the herb challenge, healing hands. My great grandmother on my mom's side was a Native American healer. So I'm trying to get back into more. I do a lot of natural things and herbs, and I want to do more. And then GQUAT traditions, that last year's when I changed it to GQUAT traditions. For 2024, it's the Garden Quilt and Arts Show. The Garden Quilt and Art Show. And everybody knows I use these three little hearts. Why? Because Imani, when I was legally blind, I could see barely, with a big font on my phone or my electronic devices. But if I was in a chat, I couldn't see if I spoke to somebody. I couldn't tell where I was. I used to use the three purple hearts. Nobody used to use the three purple hearts. Now a lot of people use a lot of purple hearts, and it's fine. I just look for them. But the GQuat with the three purple hearts, that's how I used to find my way around. I have a lot of reading books. I was learning Braille. I stopped after I got sight in my good eye. But that's a good thing to know. Workout, yep, do that. Vlog, I'm pretty good about that. I do a little bit of something every day, either on Facebook, which is shared to IG, or I do a little quick short or something. Not only did I do the WIG 2022 grow off, which ended March 7th, 2023. I won, I won, I won, I won, I won. And then, oh, what did I put? Oh, there's an old saying that spit happens, right? But it doesn't say spit. So I put on here because I'm trying to set an example. I am not a mother. I'll put it in a positive term. I am not only a mother, I am a grandmother, a great grandmother, and a great great grandmother. I try to show them a way that they can act if they want to, not be negative. And I try to be a good influence on them. Or sometimes they'll say, well, Nana, I was trying to do this like you. I said, Nana's not perfect. I make mistakes. And I don't put the spit in some words. Sometimes other words come out. I try not to do it in front of them. Oh, Mike says, yes, I'm still the winner until April 5th. Who would have thought that a 75-year-old won an indoor growing contest? And I haven't entered for 2023, which is the one that will end in 2024. But I'll tell you what, you guys, you better watch your back, because starting this weekend, I got all my Christmas stuff put away, my Hanukkah stuff, some of the stuff that I made for my friends that did that do other celebrations, and our treasured home. Woohoo, Mike! Yes, yes, yes. So another thing that I have on here is about the genealogy, about reading and writing more. Some of you hear me mention different things in my family history. I was looking at my 888, like great 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 grandmother's birth certificate. Her name was Amanda Thomas, and she was born in 1840 in Virginia. And she was free. She was not a slave. And I have her paperwork showing you had to have paperwork that's saying that you were free. But then after the Civil War, if you were free, there were certain things you had to do, blah, blah, blah. So the whole family, the Thomas family, moved to Pennsylvania. And one of them who had served bought a 400-acre piece of property. So I'm documenting the family history on both sides. The Pankey side, my great great grandmother was a slave, the one great that I knew and I have a picture with, and she was emancipated when she was 8. So I'm trying to get the whole family story together just so that my greats have something to remember. And some of the things that you guys tell me remind me of things when I was growing up, like the marigolds that I used to plant when I was like 2 years old. And Auntie Joanne will tell you, every year we always had marigolds. Why? Because Pen liked marigolds and roses. And then one of my final things I have on here that I really have to work on in 2024. It was a challenge given to me on August 21st, 2023, for my friend Shonda Sekou Holloway. And it is to write a children's book with images of Rylan, who is my great great grandson, and Hershey saying hello in different languages, like hola, or and goodbye, sayonara, aliup, arrivederci, ciao, buenos dias, and because I do that sometimes, and I just do it, not for fun, but I just sharing information, or like I was telling somebody, Happy New Year, Feliz Año Nuevo, Año Prospero. So, yes, we must lead by example. Each one reach one, each one teach one, which happened to be juicing with Jay's one of his symbols to say. So, how many of you can, I'm challenging each of you to create something for 15 minutes every day. Put a one in the chat before you leave if you are committed to doing something, and at the end of next year have at least one thing to show for it. Darth X says, I'm only a great Uncle Si. You know what? I'm auntie to people that I only know that I've known through work, that I've known through the arts, people who have bought one of my puppies over the years and call me aunt. Okay, our treasured home is accepting the challenge. Joanne Stevens accepting the challenge. Darth X accepting the challenge. Maria Graham accepting the challenge. Duval City Girl Gardener. I would like you guys to write down either however you document it and let us know. Mike, do plants count? Mike, you know what does count? All forms of art. You were doing your 3D something printout and putting it together. That counts. You can make a gnome. You can paint a gnome on a rock. You have to create something that can be considered art. If you do a plant that's, the Japanese way of trimming them, yes, if you do that, it counts. And and I'm serious. And I'm serious. So you guys, this will be our last meeting of Garden Quilt and Arts Show. And that way, when people see GQUAT, they will know what that stands for. And there will be several kinds of arts. And I can hashtag garden. And maybe people can find me and I can share with others. I can hashtag quilt. I can hashtag arts. I'm going to do more painting. I keep saying I'm going to catch up with F.R. Humphrey and some of the others. That's how she and I actually met. I'm going to actually, before I hang up, Mike always says yes. Would any of you like to see one of my portfolio with some of my drawings and paintings? I can show you a few before we leave, since some of you, true, I could knit a mason jar light blocker. Absolutely. Or, Mike, how about this? You can get some chalk paint. Auntie Joanne has a bunch of paints, and you can paint some mason jars. How about that? And put the names of what's inside of them to block the light. Blessings, Yankee Sister Homestead. She's home. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Yes, they want to see one of my portfolios. I have a couple here with stuff in it and paintings. Hold on, you guys. This place, just a minute. I have several portfolios. Some of them are big. Some of them are heavy. Of course, who would have a purple portfolio? Auntie Ellen. Auntie Ellen. But this is just to inspire you guys to create. create. Remember, I told you I didn't start until I was in my 50s, older. Okay. So, hold on. I think this is not the one that I wanted. This one has empty. So, actually, here's one. This is a watercolor. And this watercolor, most of you can do watercolor. I see there's a reflection, but this was just some watercolor and black paint. Just black paint. Sekou Gerald Newsom says, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy New Year, everybody. Glad you got home, Yankee sister. So I don't want to hold you guys up too long. Here's one that's actually in a frame. And this was a sketch. I guess I took it out of the frame. And this is a sketch of my son when he was about 10 or 12 on the property in North Carolina. And we had horses. And he was walking with a couple of horses to go put them either in the stable or walk them to the pasture. I don't know if you can see the two horses. There's one like facing us and one walking behind them. Our horses and ponies were trained. Oh, and this is on actually watercolor paper, which is really, 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 really heavy paper. It's expensive too, you guys. I used to buy it by the sheet. Even at the school, I think it was like $8. Okay. Oh, this is not a picture, but it's in here. This is cute. This is my only grandson when he was about 4 or 5. That's my Ninkums. And he's the one that surprised me on my birthday. And he and his dad drove up from California, took off from work to surprise me. This is another watercolor. Just a beach scene. And we can do that. We can do that one day. I have easels. Sometimes you see them hanging around when I'm doing other things. And we don't have to just sew. You can create whatever you like. Oh, wait a minute. Here's one in here. Here's another watercolor. This is just, and you know what? You can get watercolors for you can get them at the dollar store. Water paint is water paint. Getting the paper is a little different, or you can paint on canvas. This is just black paint, and there's a way that you wet the canvases, and it was just something to do. It was just something to do. So I will get another portfolio out with a lot of stuff in and share some of my art with you guys. And I just want to wish wait a minute. You know what? I want to look you in the eye. That's one thing my dad used to always say. When we met someone, we looked them in the eye, especially adults. You better not talk to him and not look him in the eye. You look him in the eye. You look him in the eye. And I want to look you in the eye, you guys, and tell each and every one of you, this is an I in American Sign Language. This is an L. This is a U. In American Sign Language, this is how you say, I love you. Sekou Gerald Newsom can't see me, but his wife can say that. Unbiased LLC is saying, Happy New Year. Feliz Año Nuevo. GQUAT family, that's all of us. We are a family. Why? Because good friends become family, and family is everything. I wish each of you a safe, happy, and healthy new year. Ego te mami. I love you. Talk to you later. Oh, Sissy, your package is in the mail. Happy birthday, Roscoe. Jags J3 Farm says, Happy, everybody be blessed.